Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Rachel right here, and today it is hot. It is Saturday. What day is it? June the 27th, and this is Flosstube number 26. This is the video every week where I talk about cross stitching and knitting, so please join me with your projects. Maybe with your dog. My dog is on the floor because it is hot. And you're gonna laugh at me, but it's only 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, it is so humid today. I had to open the window, so you're probably going to hear some outside sounds. I'm so sorry in advance, but I cannot with this heat today. I got a lot of updates to show you. Well, I wouldn't say a lot, but I got a few, and some of them are pretty funny. And I have a finish too, and I'm really getting further in my Plymouth shawl. So yeah, come on in, have a seat, grab a drink. I'm drinking cold coffee, and cold because, you know, I'm dying. And yeah, let's have some fun. So happy Saturday, everybody. It was a heck of a week today. I promise I will put this down in a few minutes, but whew. Okay, side note, personal story. In Ireland, they do not have air conditioning, and it's not like Virginia heat, okay? It's not oppressive heat, but it's uncomfortable heat. You know what I mean? Yeah, all right. So let me get started. Let me show you what we got going on. So first up, whoops, I'm going to show you my progress on my Heaven and Earth design. This is from, well, one of my subscribers gave me this pattern. I ended up getting into a charity event, which is going to end, I believe, on the 19th of July. Gonna have to double check that. I'm trying to hit 100 hours stitched on this project, and actually while I have it up here and open, let me just make sure, see where I got y'all, my timer reset. That's not good. Okay, let me just, I'm gonna open up the last update that I had. Was in a group that I'm in called Cross Stitching Sisters, and if I go into the events right now, we're actually doing a full coverage stitch-a-thon. It's just a fun thing, and it's good for tracking progress. Okay, and oh snap, all right, I just lost, I think I did about 3 hours more than this. I think the last time you saw it was when I was at 30 something hours. That's not good. Anyway, here we go. This is my update. So that's where I am at now. So this is where I'm at right now. The pattern, this is page 3 that I'm on right now, right here. And this, all of this right here that I'm filling in is 310. So it's all black. And then I start the confetti back up again here and on the next page. So I'm thinking that, let me just bring it back. Sorry, I have to do that sometimes. What I'm thinking is that I'm just going to continue with the confetti and go on to the next page, because this is it's so boring. It's so boring that I don't want to pick it up. So I don't like stitching all in one color. I find I mean, it can be kind of therapeutic, but at the same time, like, you know, the thread is constantly getting twisted, so you have to drop your needle and everything. It's just, so someone told me, why don't you just leave this bit and then come back to it when you need a break from all the confetti? I was like, yeah, that's a really great idea, because literally I think that's the last color blocking in the entire piece. So yeah, I'm going to start down here today and move on to the next page, which is so exciting. Page 4. And people were wondering, how many pages does this have? This has 48 pages because they're large print. So the pages are smaller than if I had gotten the normal size print. Oh, I'm really mad at myself now. You know what? I'll probably have the exact hours stitched somewhere in like a message to someone or something like that, but my timer reset. So make sure you write it down if you're doing this kind of progress. But currently, I just want to tell you about Velasano and the charity and everything that I'm doing this project for. I'm stitching 100 hours for the Velo Stitchers team over on the Velasano website. I have the link down in the description box. Together as a team, we have currently raised, as of me filming this, $5,712 US dollars, which is amazing. We still have a while to go, so, you know, there's still 3 weeks left in it. And I'm 33% finished, basically. So, yeah, I need to get going. On my progress, for me, I have raised $1,010. So nothing has changed in the week since last week, but that's okay. I told you guys if we don't reach, no, what is it? If you help me reach $1,500 raised, then I will donate $150 on top of that to the team. If I beat it, that's great. But I doubt I will. But I'd love it if you could donate, even if it was something like $2. That would make a huge difference in the overall grand total scheme of things. Velasano is typically a bike ride for cancer research. So, you know, you would normally sponsor a rider, and the rider will go out there and cycle in this race, right? Well, unfortunately, because of COVID, they're not having a physical race. They're having a virtual race. So we're trying to get up there and raise all the money we can. I did get contacted by the Velasano team, and they asked if they could use my pictures to use in a video, I think, that they're making, which is awesome. I'm super humbled. But yeah, I'm going to keep working on this, especially today. I really want to get some work done on this. But it's been a really fun time. It's just I'm kind of swamped with the 310. And here's my back if you're interested at all in that. Okay, so that is that. Luna is not going to be my co-host today, I don't think, unfortunately. Okay, so it's safe enough there, don't worry. Last week I showed you all, let me get a piece of paper or something. Look at this. Last week I showed you guys my new start for the Representation Matters stitch along, and it is a pattern by Stitch Sisterhood on Etsy, and it's called Sisterhood. And I did a little bit more. It's still in the Q-Snap. I know, I'm sorry. It's not auto-focusing. That's really strange. But I did fill in more of her hand and the other blue on her fingernails. So it looks really pretty. And I like it a lot because, you know, at the moment it's not difficult. It's only got, I don't know, 12 colors maybe. And it's just a fun stitch. And I love this fabric. It is so pretty. This is, what is this? Midnight Roses by Crafty Kitten.co.uk. So, and that's a 16 count. Yeah, 16 count Ada. So, and the Soul of the Rose is a 25 count Magic Guide even weave with 127 colors. It's the max color version. Right, let me take a sip of coffee, excuse me. I can't believe that I didn't log that somewhere else. I'm kind of kicking myself. Okay, here's my finish for the week. So I don't know if you guys know, if you're new here, hi. I like doing all kinds of crafts, and I am definitely more of a modern stitcher. I like more modern stuff. I am in a group called Stitch, and Stitch is like a meme-worthy stitching. So if you're not into that kind of thing, you're not going to like this. And I'm going to tell you now, I'm fully expecting a bunch of thumbs down for this, but I had to do it. So when we saw what Stitch was doing for this mini Stitch alone instead of a Stitch along like they usually do, because, you know, COVID and making wordplay is their thing, they decided to release a pattern called Bless This House, which they had released earlier, like way earlier, like 10 years ago. But Em and Matt, M really, she like revamped the pattern, and she gave all these wonderful instructions on how to do these brand new stitches that she created. And I was having a lot of fun on the last one. Do I still have it? I do. Let me get the other one. Lord, have mercy. Okay, so I had started the stitch alone with a piece of even weave, even though Em said not to. Well, she recommended that you use Ada, and I was like, Ada, I have so much even weave, I would like to use even weave. And she was like, no, that's cool, whatever. I should have known better. Okay, the eye roll was at me. Cause yeah. So here, this is where I got to. I think I was on pattern 3. I've shown this before, but if you're new here, you know. So basically, this is Hugh Laurie's face, and then there's supposed to be a border, and it says bless this house. Well, I got here, and then I realized I was 1 stitch too far out on this side of his head, and I wasn't about to pull out all these stitches. I did like the gradient that I was doing, and it was looking pretty cool, you know what I mean? But there were a few things that I was not in love with. I didn't like the color on this fabric because I should have picked something that wasn't blue. I didn't really see the blues in the fabric until I had started stitching it, and then it was like, oh, he's gonna disappear. So yeah, I decided to start over, and I started over on a 14 count Ada. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. Let me know down below. Would you rip out all the stitches and reuse this, or what would you do? I may do that. Okay, so what I did was, and if you were here last week, you would have seen it, but hopefully you can see it even better today. These are fluorescent flosses that were gifted to me from my friend, Mrs. Crochet and Coffee. And they're super fun. They're not DMC, obviously. They are like the kind of floss that you would make friendship bracelets out of. And I was like, why not? Why not? Why not? So, are you ready? I finished him yesterday. I am going to attempt to fold over the stuff that might get me in trouble. Ready? So here we go. This is my Hugh Laurie. Yeah. So I went ahead and I used that. I think it looks awesome. Okay, so here we go. That is my Hugh Laurie with hydroxychloroquine written around him. And he looks pretty creepy and freaky, and I thought that it fit really well. And the little O in chloro is a coronavirus with French knots. He looks really rad. I totally messed up the color, as in, like, you're supposed to go from brightest to darkest, and unfortunately I messed it up. So he looks funky with the purple, and I think it looks pretty cool though, you know. So who knows, I might be in the video for the wrap up, hopefully. I kept it a secret as long as I could so that people wouldn't know. So yeah, and I'm just hiding the speed challenge because I don't want my video to get flagged, but basically we had to backstitch some words that were not appropriate for YouTube-ish. Well, I mean, you know, you get at least one, right? So anyway, if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you weren't a part of the stitch, you're more than welcome to join us. If subversive cross-stitch is your thing, if you like memes, if you're like an internet person who likes the internet. When I first started that, I didn't know if I would like it because I don't watch House. I'm not a House fan, but I love Hugh Laurie, and I especially like a lot of the TV shows that he did back in the day, especially with Stephen Fry. That's my jam. So that's my finish. Not fully finished, but finished. And maybe I can find a hoop for it, or like a little oval frame or something. I plan on trying to fix the letters a little bit because they were out of alignment, but you should have seen me, y'all. I was like trying to graph the letters onto actual graph paper. It just wasn't working. It wasn't working, trust me. So yeah, there's that. Whew, y'all, I'm hot. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think I had pancakes for breakfast, and I think maybe all the sugar has just like exploded my digestive system. All right, so that is that. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. All right, that's all the cross stitch I did this week. Yeah, not good, but I had a very busy week. I'm gonna sneeze again. Let me put this down. All right. I had a very busy week. I had to drive to Cork City, which is 2.5 hours away. And when I got there, I realized that I couldn't do the thing that I needed to do. So we had to drive all the way back. I brought my knitting with me because I thought, oh, well, you know, I'll try it. And if I get car sick, then I'll just stop. Turns out I can knit and not get car sick. So that's awesome. Anybody else get car sick? Because I can't do anything. I can't do cross stitch. I can't read. I can't, if I have to look down, I can't look at my phone to find directions. I have to get all that prepped before I leave, because otherwise, even as a navigator, I just get tremendously car sick. So I worked on my Plumatease shawl. I did not work on the other shawl. And I am almost finished with the middle section, the main section of the shawl. So it's huge now. I can't even pull it straight because it'll come off the needles. Isn't that pretty? So this is a pattern by Melody Hoffman on Ravelry. It's called Plumatease, and it's just like super simple, but at the same time, there's a lot of counting on the rows with eyelets, so you do have to be careful not to do extra stitches and stuff, which is kind of easy to do when you're just using muscle memory. So it's important to be careful. But I think that I'm mostly even on the edges. I think I can see like 1 or 2 rows where I did mess up. Sorry. But I've fixed them in other places. So yeah, this is going to be beautiful. I can't wait to show you up close. But just so that you know, this is my marker from last week. So, oh, you can't see. Yeah, there we go. That's a lot of knitting for 1 week, I think. I don't even know how many rows that is, but I want to say probably 25 rows. But keep in mind, I was in the car for like 4 or 5 hours on Tuesday, and then basically every night I was knitting on this, and every morning as well, because I knit in bed in the morning. I find it very relaxing. But I'm super excited. I don't think you can tell. I have them here. In anticipation for this week, I went ahead and I wound up the next colors. Check that out. Really pretty, huh? So this one is called Stained Glass, and this one is called Royalty. And when they're held together, I think they're going to look so pretty. So this is going to be the sides of the shawl, and I'm hoping that it just makes it a little bit more purple than that light pink, but I mean, it's going to look fab. Next to, just grab it, next to that. See what I mean? I think it's going to look really cool. And especially since, like, I don't know if you could tell, but there's all these blues in there, blues and purples. So that's going to really help make it pop. And that's it. I think this is literally like the shortest Flosstube I've done. I did want to say that I did make some purchases. I'll throw up some pictures so that you can see, because the, lighting and cameras and stuff. I purchased the Kitchen Garden Sampler by Blue Coppice. I have been following them on Instagram for so long, and that one particular piece has really gotten my attention and made me want to get it for so long. I'm talking months. I keep seeing her beautiful work all over, and she's doing these really cool specialty stitches which make the piece look 3D. And I know that I'm only just starting. I haven't even started doing actual specialty stitches. I am hoping to soon, but it's just, yeah, I'm really excited for that piece. Let's talk plans. I hesitate to talk about plans because usually, when I make goals for myself, I sabotage those goals. The first thing that I would like to do is, I know that I obviously have the 100 hours of cross stitch to do for my Soul of the Rose piece. It's only that piece. But I also have on, when is July 1st? Wednesday. Wednesday is high tea. High tea is explained as being where you pull out a new start of something every 2 months. I've heard this on Off the Grid Needle Arts and Stone Cold Coffee Crafts here on YouTube. I've heard them talk about it. I think I've heard Michelle Bendy talk about it. I've heard it here and there. Even Stitch All the Things. I've just heard a bunch of people in the community talk about it every once in a while. I think it's every 2 months you start a new project that is using either really nice specialty floss or silk, or just something that would be you keep putting it off because it's a unicorn, something that it almost feels too good to stitch. I have an idea. I would right now I feel like I have too many whips because of Mania, so I don't really want to start anything right now. But I would like to possibly work on a different project on Wednesday, and I think I'm going to work on the Pilgrim by Long Dog Samplers, because I have been wanting to work on that project for a long time. And by a long time, I mean 2 weeks. I do have a lot of other whips, and especially those that are stitch-alongs that are not getting touched right now, and I feel really bad about it. On the one hand, because July 1st, the new chapter for the Harry Potter stitch-along, Letters from Hogwarts, that releases. There's all these beautiful stitch-alongs that are releasing. Oh, and Lindy Stitches has a new mini stitch-along. You should check that out. I think all you have to do is sign up to her newsletter, and it'll send to you, which I would love to do, but I'm going to wait because I have a lot of stitch-alongs right now and not enough time. So the goal really is to hit 100 hours on my Soul of the Rose by the 19th of July. But originally in my first video about the Velosano fundraiser, I did give myself until October, but I think that the Velo Stitchers team is trying to hit that mark by the 19th. So I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my best. Yeah. And in the background of all this, I am trying to teach my dog how to swim. She's actually really good at it naturally, but because she was in a car, she was hit by 2 cars. Not recently, it was a while ago, and she had a plate put in, but then she stopped using her leg. I took her to the vet because I was starting to get worried. She was gnawing at her leg, and I was worried that she was in a lot of pain. And he said he gave me pain medication for her, and she has stopped biting her leg, or, you know, not gnawing on it or anything, but she would like lick on it, and then yeah. He said that she was probably in a little bit of pain, but he gave her medication and she seems to be doing quite well. We've been going to the beach when we can. There was a bunch of storms last week, and then helped set up a polytunnel for my friend, and, you know, like, time got away with us. But we went yesterday and she did really, really well. So I'm hoping that we continue to have okay weather. Even if it's like this where it's raining, but it's not storming, that's fine. I can go out in that. But it's going to help build up her muscle and her, you know, the movement in her rotator cuff. And hopefully she'll be confident enough to put that leg down again soon. So I am monitoring her progress. Thank you all for all the kind wishes. If you didn't know because you only watched the Flosstube, that's perfectly fine. Thank you for listening. She will be fine. But that's been taking up a lot of my time as well. So it's like cross stitch, knit, swim with my dog, make YouTube videos. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I know it's super short, and hopefully I will have my stuff together next week. And, you know, when I'm not working on a boatload of projects, there's not as much to talk about. But I would highly recommend that you check out the hashtags for Representation Matters, SAL, and also check out Lindy's Stitches for her new stitch along. The Stiatch is over, I'm sorry, but hopefully there will be another Stiatch along later this year. Not to mention, oh my gosh, there's like a Christmas stitch along with Barbara Anna over at Creative Poppy's website. There's a bunch of stuff going on right now, guys. And I will do my best to tell you about all the new things when I can. And another thing is that I hope you're just listening now and not like paying attention to me as I fan the heat off of myself. There was, Marissa over at the Crafty Heifer. She was talking about a bunch of people are doing Jolly July in the community, which is where you work on Christmas stuff. I'm not doing that. Don't get me wrong. I love to have like 1 or 2 Christmas stitches, but I don't want to start all the things. Oh, and Becky's Madness for Crafting, I think she's doing ornaments, which it's going to be so cute. I'm really loving to follow along with these things, but me, myself, I know me. I would rather have a bunch of like Halloween stuff, even though I don't even get to celebrate Halloween anymore. I just love Halloween. So yeah, I have my Halloween stuff picked out. Marissa at the Crafty Heifer is talking about doing All Ghost August, which I don't know if I'm going to do all Halloween stuff in August, but we'll see. I'll definitely join you, Marissa, because I have that trick or treat one that I got, which I'm so excited for. And I've got all of those things in, I moved it. I had an expanding file folder. I actually put it in my closet because it was just too bulky for that thing. And then let's see, what else is there? I'm just trying to lengthen it out a bit because, you know, I know you want to hang out. And I do too. There's a lot of trucks today. What else is going on? See, I've got a lot of I've got some videos coming up, like flip through videos, and things like that, but I feel like there's so many things, and I always want to be a part of the things because I enjoy getting to meet people and, you know, like getting to know other people. So I always start all the things and I don't finish them. So I must focus on finishing things. I must. As much as I am totally enamored by all of these stitch-alongs. 2020 is the year of the stitch-along. Did you see Tiny Modernists Halloween stitch-along? That is so cute. It's got like a little house and a Ouija board. But I have had to say no because I just have too many. And because I wanted to join the Velosano, I felt compelled to join in this 100-hour stitch challenge because my grandfather has had cancer for the past 8 years, 9 years even. And he, thanks to cancer research, he has continued to lead a somewhat stable life. His mobility is not restricted. He does only have one lung, but he's still fighting the good fight. And that's why whenever there's something like this, I always want to be a part of it. So, I felt like, you know, the selfish part of me who wants to continue doing all of her stitch-alongs can just put them off for a few weeks and focus on this. So that's what I'm doing. And hopefully we can make a difference by raising money for the cancer research. So that's it, guys. I'm going to read a poem and then we're gonna go. So thank you so much for joining me. At the end of all my Flosstubes, I like to read a poem from Second Sight from Patty Bush. He's a local poet here. He lives in Waterville, and he is fantastic. We read that one last time. Okay. Ooh. Are you ready? This one is called A Tale of Horses. Horses looming out of the mist below and disappearing upwards again. A steel shoe ringing here and there on a rock, abrupt scramblings at a stream, uneasy snorting, and we also uneasy, strained, awkward in our saddles, the mountain swaying around and below us in the fog, then up and up again and away back into story. What raid is this? What Viking, plundering of the valleys? What bloody epic is being composed? What Eric the Red's fame narrated? What story, what saga, what Arctic winter's tale is this? All of a sudden, then, with a jerk of reins and hooves and mines, we're up and out, the mist below us, and around and around and around, the unfiltered brilliance of the peaks, stretching themselves icily to the four corners of the earth, summit after summit, supremely careless of us, our hearts in our mouths agape in mute wonder, and we are stone deaf to any story ever recounted since time began. I like that one. That's awesome. So thank you to Patty. If you're interested in checking out Patty's book, I have him linked down in the description box below. Thank you all so much for coming and hanging out with me today. Thanks for hanging in there. I hope that you all have a fantastic weekend and a fantastic week ahead. If you're watching this during next week, well, happy week to you. If you liked the video, you know what to do, and I hope that if you haven't subscribed already, that you consider doing so. Just have a peek at my other videos, and if you like what you see here, go ahead and subscribe to see more videos like this in the future. So, guys, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye!